It is my final night in Paris. It's tough to leave this place. It's been quite a memorable one. Still under construction is the obelisk. But man, just can't escape the history in this town if you tried. It's just hard to imagine that right here where I'm walking is where French revolutionaries gathered. They carted in their king and queen and cut both of their heads off in front of everyone. King, queen, monarchy, nobility, all that, church rule, that was going away. A lot of really radical ideals at the time. Of course, it all began with the storming of the Bastille. To this day, French still celebrate Bastille Day. I think it's in July. Don't quote me on that. I think it's in July, maybe, though. But so I think it's kind of cool that they still celebrate that to this day. They're proud of their revolutions. It wasn't only the French one. They were actually tremendously proud of our own American Revolution. I understand they were enemies of Britain at the time. There's actually a statue even of George Washington right here in Paris. So man, that guy gets around. Fascinating time though. French Revolution. That was just before Napoleon came into power. Coalition wars, his amazing prowess as a general, and they are certainly still quite fond of that guy around here too. In fact, where my hotel's at tonight is right next to a relatively famous Napoleon site. A little dark, my style. It's where he's buried. There is a tomb you can visit. It's in a pretty cool building, so I think we're gonna check that out possibly later today. All right, final night in Paris. Got myself a pretty nicely appointed little room. Not big, but hey, I don't need that much space. Looks like a good sized bed. Nice big window. Cool little French street, nice view. All right, say we go check out this tomb. Would you look at this thing? Whew. That is an actual gold dome. How'd you like to be buried under that for all eternity? That's what Napoleon got. So this building, known as Les Invalides, was originally built to house wounded soldiers, hence the name Invalide. And it does have some significance in French history. Just before, really at the start of the French Revolution, in 1789, a bunch of rioters broke into here and stole cannons and a bunch of other weapons and stuff that were here and used it to storm the Bastille. We were talking about earlier how they celebrate Bastille Day. Still a big celebration every year for everybody in France. And this building housed some of the weaponry that was ultimately used to start that significant revolution. So pretty cool chunk of history that's gone down here. Man, I'm getting further and further away from it somehow. Walking around this complex for 15 minutes. I am yet to find the entrance. It's quite large place. And this looks to be it. There's a sight. Man, what a building. Look at the size of this place. No wonder it took me so long to walk around it and find the entrance. Goodness. Undoubtedly original 17th century stones I'm walking on. Man, look at that giant statue. No Napoleon complex with that thing. That's got to be 20 feet tall at least. Anybody know where I can get some cannons? Got my ticket, got to do the thing. Use those people for scale. That is a large building. Alright, let's get in there before those high school kids get here. Real gold. Yesterday at Disneyland, I remember thinking, like, wow, they really spared no expense with this place. So beautiful. But I gotta say, Les Invalides takes it to the next level. This is all lined with gold. Real gold. Can you imagine how much this building is worth? Goodness. Man, even this guy I never heard of gets his own crazy gold dome. But Napoleon gets the biggest dome. Oh wow, there it is. It seems disrespectful to take a selfie next to someone's tomb, so I'm gonna forego that one, but I'll take one next to whatever this is. It kind of looks like a dollar sign there between those winged children. Here we got the tomb of Napoleon's older brother, Broseph Napoleon. Ooh, the downstairs level they call Crypt -1. Creepy. And down here we got the statue of old Junior, Napoleon II, Napoleon's son. This is interesting here to tell you a little bit about the tomb itself. Apparently there's quite a few layers of coffin in there. Not to mention these 12 winged women watching over the tomb. Pretty darn interesting. Seeing the old tomb of Napoleon from my very own eyes. He is quite revered here in France. I mean, he did very much modernize their economy, furthered education, kind of known for promoting equality too. Women didn't get any of the rights that he promoted. Property rights, right to education, like none of that. So, I mean, let's not make him out to be a saint just yet. But he certainly was quite the general. Charged right alongside his men into battle at least 60 some odd times, vast majority of them victorious. Really inspired his men. He was kind of one of the guys. Ultimately though, he would lose a couple of battles that were key. Exiled on Elba before making his triumphant return, only to lose once again at Waterloo, and that marked the end of his military career. British Duke of Wellington finally getting the better of him. Ultimately, he died of cancer at the age of 51. A lot of weird details with his body before it ended up here. It had to be removed here. Some of the organs were removed. There's this weird rumor that his penis found its way to a museum in America for a good long time. Look it up. I'm not kidding. It's not confirmed, but there was definitely a tendon that was kind of mummified that, well, I'm not going to describe it, but you can imagine what it looked like if people got that idea. My feet are blistered and in pain. I am going to take a bus, the short route over to the Eiffel Tower, where I will chill for the rest of the evening. Oh man, it is pouring. I was debating whether I wanted to walk to the Eiffel Tower with blisters on my feet or not. It's only about a half mile from my hotel, so not too bad. It's kind of on the fence, but probably was going to do it anyway. But then at 8:30 p.m., I get an email from Air Canada saying, oh, hey, by the way, for your flight tomorrow morning, you need a COVID negative. Well, perfect, because every pharmacy closes at 8:30. But alas, there was one open till 9, a mile and a half from my hotel, with less than 30 minutes to get there. So I just literally ran my ass off across town, showed up right as the guy's closing the door. He turned me down, but after pleading my case, he let me in and tested me. I got my negative, and I just uploaded it. So I am going home tomorrow. And as a bonus, as you can tell, I made it to the Eiffel Tower. So I get to do that, but now I'm just limping back to the hotel on my exacerbated blisters. Oh, man. Whew, it's chilly. High 40s out here. I just stopped sweating. God damn. Man, street food on point out here. There are so many big official looking carts like this one behind me, and there's these guys who set up in shopping carts, which you see that sometimes in LA or in Mexico, and usually they're like some of the most delicious stuff ever. They are cash only, and I don't have any euros, so I'm not going to get to try them, but pretty cool set. Anybody that can figure out a way to turn a shopping cart into a business, pretty inventive. I would love to give you a few of my dollars. Standing in the street seems to be the thing to do. This is hilarious. Literally everybody just stands between these two lanes of traffic to get their pictures, and it is quite a good picture. Yeah, cops don't give a shit here. It's kind of like New York, where you can just basically do anything. It's kind of the way things should be, if you ask me. I've never seen so many people standing in the middle of a very busy thoroughfare. Ah, Paris. I'll miss it. Man, 10 p.m., my final night in Paris, and I just discovered you can drink in public here. I had no freaking idea. Couldn't believe it. Cheap Heinekens everywhere. I had no idea you could just walk around and drink. Ah. Live and learn. I think something's about to happen. Oh. Woo! How cool. Evidently the old girl sparkles on the hour. That was pretty cool. Timed it perfectly. Somebody just told me that information at 9:59. So, kind of perfect timing actually. Man, that is quite a sight. How cool. I just noticed my Angels logo kind of spot on to the shape of the tower. I'll go out on a limb and say I'm the only fan of the Angels to be out here since they haven't done shit in many years. I will say I have seen a number of Dodger caps though, a few folks from LA. I did actually just meet a couple from San Diego though, who lives in Ocean Beach too. What are the odds? My same little borough. They even knew the street that my garage is on, which is kind of crazy. Small world sometimes, but yeah, that's gonna be it from Paris. It's my final night here. Saw some good stuff. Napoleon's tomb earlier today, of course the Eiffel Tower there. Got to see a real medieval castle, real drawbridge with a real moat. Always wanted to see that. And of course, Disneyland Paris. Ah, absolutely magical. Cannot wait to go again. Gotta say, seeing the old girl sparkle was a pretty cool way to go out. Definitely a memorable one. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this with me. I thank you for doing so. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you on the next one. I'm here enjoying my very own row. This 8-hour flight to Toronto. Still got one more flight from here though. Back to San Diego, where this little hound has been patiently waiting. Hey, baby. Come on. Up. Got it. Good baby. Oh, that's my hound.